Movies from the 70s and the 80s had a big impact on what people did. Back in 1986 when Top Gun was released, how many young men joined the Navy to take a swing at becoming a fighter pilot? Even though the real star of the film was Kelly McGillis. I mean, the F-14 Tomcats. But you couldn't just leave the theater and buy an F-14. In 1977, however, after Smokey and the Bandit was released, you could leave the theater, go to the dealership, and buy a 1977 Trans Am. Well, not exactly this one. This is a 79. I mean, this thing just oozes cool. It's got a giant screaming chicken on the hood, this really trick machined aluminum trim everywhere, and it's got T-tops.
Which is actually a feature that all anniversary cars came equipped with.
And this one's actually loaded with power options. You've got power door locks, power windows. You do have the coolest manually adjusting driver's side mirror. This 1979 Pontiac Trans Am 10th Anniversary Edition comes from General Motors' second generation F-body platform. A platform that's very near and dear to my heart, actually. I built a 1981 Z28 Camaro, which is this car but a Chevy, a few years back actually with my dad, which I still have.
But by this time, emissions regulations were killing the muscle cars. So, the 10th Anniversary Edition Trans Am like this one was their last round to load it up with top shelf stuff. 10th Anniversary cars got special, never-before-seen silver and charcoal paint, graphics including the Super Bird on the hood, which is larger than the other Trans Am birds, as this one extends all the way onto the top of the fenders, new cast turbo wheels, a silver and gray interior to match the car's exterior, and red gauge lighting inspired by the cockpits of aircraft. And for a special edition Trans Am, you could actually pick up these things for pretty cheap just a few years ago.
Now, the prices have skyrocketed though. That could be due to the fact of everything being inflated due to COVID, but we won't get into that. I still think that these things are a bargain, especially when compared to F-14 values nowadays. But this isn't your standard Firebird in two ways. One, this one's an automatic, and this one's a Trans Am, as I said. Now, every Trans Am is a Firebird, but not every Firebird is a Trans Am. Trans Am was a type of specialty package added to the Firebird in 1969. It basically took the Firebird and just bumped it up a notch. Better suspension, different trims, that sort of stuff. Now, under that screaming chicken engulfed hood, we have this.
It's not exactly what you'd expect. Under the hood is the infamous Oldsmobile 6.6 liter, 403 cubic inch V8.
Want to guess how much horsepower it makes? Come on, that's a big motor. Maybe 350 horse? 400? Hell, even 450 horse? Nah, 220. This was the 1970s, so they suffocated all these big engines with all sorts of emissions equipment. But at least it still looks cool, complete with its factory shaker hood assembly on top.
7,500 anniversary cars were built, with 1,817 coming equipped with the 400 cubic inch V8 and Super T10 4-speed manual combo, with the remaining 5,683 being the automatic and 403 V8 combo.
But despite all that, I still think it's a blast to drive. That 6.6 liter produces a healthy 320-ish foot-pounds of torque, which means you can have plenty of fun dashing from stoplight to stoplight on the streets, and it still makes a great noise. I mean, you can still tell it's a V8. Even though their motors were choked more than I was when I stole something from my brother as a little kid, you could do some performance upgrades to boost the power. No pun intended. Supercharger. Excuse me. It's a car that the driver can exceed the car's potential. Not like today's 700 or 800 horsepower front engine, rear drive muscle cars that can quite easily surpass the driver's skill level and quite easily kill you. Got a car like this, you don't need a beautiful paint job or a luxurious interior or great fuel mileage or catalytic converters. You're in a V8 muscle car. It's gonna be the coolest thing around regardless. Now this Trans Am was purchased at the Barrett-Jackson Auto Auction, and it had a full body-on restoration completed like 10 years ago, and it's still got the original 400 in it. It's got 92,000 miles, and it's just a great, solid driver's car. It's fun to drive, it looks great, and on top of all that, you've got T-tops. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Happy motoring.